If quality and productivity are to be maintained in a printing plant, a specific amount of time must be devoted to press adjustment and maintenance. The press manuals provided by press manufacturers are the best source of information about a particular printing press and its adjustments and maintenance requirements. There are general maintenance guidelines and adjustments which are applicable to all presses, regardless of the manufacturer. It is necessary to refer to the press manual for specific peculiarities of maintenance and adjustment procedures for a particular type of press. If a lubrication chart is available for a press, it should be followed when the machine is to be lubricated. In the absence of a chart, the maintenance person should locate and oil or grease the metal moving parts where wear may occur on a press. The major press systems are the paper feeding system, the registration system, the inking system, the dampening system, the printing system, and the sheet delivery system. Oil the moving parts at the ends of the rollers, bearings, and shafts, and at points where two pieces of metal bear or rotate against each other. A machine-grade oil or grease should be selected. Grease the machine where there are grease fittings and gears. Motors should be checked to see if they have oil holes or have sealed bearings which need no oil. The vacuum pump should be checked. Instructions for maintenance of the pump are usually attached to it. If they are not, the pump requirement should be known before any maintenance is done to it. The pump should supply an ample volume of air and generate enough suction to feed paper consistently. Hoses attached to the vacuum pump should be inspected for breaks periodically. Oiling, greasing, and other press maintenance procedures should be done on a regular schedule based on the amount of time the machine is used. The maintenance person should learn where all oil holes and grease fittings are located. It may be necessary to remove machine covers to reach some lubrication points. Excessive amounts of oil and grease should be wiped away with a cleaning rag. It should not be allowed to remain in the path of the paper as it travels through the press, and it should be kept out of the ink and water systems. It is not safe to hand clean or hand lubricate the press while it is running. Press adjustments the operator might normally be expected to make can also be approached from the standpoint of an analysis of the major press components or systems. There are many important feeding mechanism adjustments. The timing adjustment alters the timing of the suction release valve, which affects the insertion of the sheet into the pull-out rollers. Pull-out roller pressure must be adjusted evenly and firmly. The multiple sheet detector should be adjusted to allow only single sheets to reach the printing unit. The pile height control must be adjusted so that the paper stack is 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch below the lowest reach of the suction feet. When the pile height bar strikes the stack of paper, the paper feeder stops rising. A flat board supports the stack of paper, and it is desirable that the paper stack lie flat in the feeder. If it does not, the board may be removed so that the edges of the stack can be adjusted for better feeding by moving the supports that hold the stack of paper. The feed board supports the sheet during its travel from the feeder to the registration and printing units. Tapes move the paper along the feed board. They should be positioned to prevent the paper from dragging on the feed board. A variety of wheels, brushes, and sheet levelers may be used to help control and register the paper. These devices should not drag on the paper. Sheets are forwarded to a stop located at the lead edge or head of the sheet. They must feed positively to the head stops. Each sheet must then be moved by the side guide so that it is squared with the head stops and side guide. Sheets which are not squared by the process will not be in register. The accuracy of registration can be checked by feeding sheets through the printing unit once, followed immediately by another trip through the printing unit. If the images do not fit exactly one on top of the other, it is necessary to discover the cause of the misregister. Misregister may be caused by uneven feeding or drag on the sheet as it travels down the feed board. The side guide may not be moving all sheets. Pressure of the feed-in roller may need adjustment. Headstop height may need adjustment. Or the timing between the headstop and the impression cylinder grippers may need adjustment. The method of registration varies among presses, with some manufacturers claiming to more positively control the sheet than others. Several offset press designs have eliminated the feed board, inserting the sheet directly into a registration and feed roller mechanism prior to their pickup by the impression cylinder grippers. Printing system adjustments that are made by the press operator are the pressure from plate to blanket and the pressure from blanket to impression. When the plate is inked and the press is put on impression, a stripe transfers between plate and blanket. The stripe can be transferred to the sheet which is to be printed. This allows the operator to inspect the image transfer from plate to blanket and from blanket to impression. The adjustments to change overall pressure are on the operator side. This adjustment sets the pressure between the blanket and impression cylinder, while this adjustment sets the pressure between the plate and blanket cylinder. Some presses also use packing under the plate and blanket as a component of the pressure adjustments. The paralleling adjustments are on the non-operator side. The parallel adjustment is preset at the factory. The plate cylinders can be moved in relation to the blanket cylinder to change the position of the image printed on the sheet. Some presses are designed to move the blanket and plate cylinders together. On these presses, the blanket does not have to be washed when image position is changed. From time to time, it is necessary to change the blanket because of wear or damage. The blanket is an important element in the printing process, and it should be kept clean and free of accumulated ink and plate gum. Damage can occur if the multiple sheet detector is not set properly. Heavy ink coverage or coated paper may cause a sheet to stick to the blanket, resulting in a smashed area on the surface. When an old or new blanket is installed, it should be retightened after running copies until it becomes adapted to the press. Several companies manufacture offset press blankets in a variety of sizes, colors, and surface finishes. They may be purchased already cut to the proper size with holes punched to fit a specific press, but some press operators prefer to cut and punch the blankets for their presses. It is important to remember when cutting and punching blankets that the fabric support for the blanket surface must run in the direction specified by the blanket manufacturer. Image distortion on the printed sheet may be the result of failure to heed this reminder. Rollers in the inking system distribute ink to the ink form rollers, which apply ink to the printing plate. The form rollers should be adjusted to apply an even stripe across the plate that is 1/8 inch to 3/16 of an inch wide. An eccentric adjustment on the non-operator side of this press parallels the rollers to the plate, while an overall pressure adjustment on the operator side controls the width of the ink stripe on the plate. Variable ink requirements across the width of the plate are controlled with fountain keys, while a ratchet controls the amount of travel of the ink fountain roller during each press revolution. Ink and dampening form rollers can be removed by removing the roller shaft. If the rollers are to be reinstalled on the press, they should be marked so they can be replaced in the position from which they were removed. This will minimize the need for roller adjustments. Some of the distributing rollers are removed easily, while others must be disassembled for removal. The dampening form roller is adjusted in the same manner as are the ink form rollers, but since it is difficult to see the moisture stripe on the plate, strips of paper are used to check the roller pressure to the plate. A lever engages and disengages the water ductor roller from the fountain distributor roller. A ratchet controls the amount of rotation of the water fountain roller during each press revolution. This controls the amount of water fed to the dampening form roller. The metal fountain rollers should be degreased and treated with a mixture of equal parts of gum arabic and fountain nets, so they will meter an even film of fountain solution. The dampening roller covers should be washed when necessary to retain their ability to moisten the plate evenly. Detergents used to wash covers should be completely rinsed out of the covers. The covers should be changed when they no longer carry an even supply of moisture. The delivery system may be a chain delivery or a tray delivery. A chain delivery is useful for long press runs, while a tray delivery is suitable for short runs. The chain delivery sheet jogger and back guide are adjusted for the size of sheet being printed. The delivery table dropping speed is adjusted according to the thickness of stock being printed. The delivery sheet grippers must be timed to close on the printed sheet when the sheet is released from the impression cylinder grippers. The sprocket that moves the chain delivery can be advanced or retarded. A cam opens the grippers at the impression cylinder and at the position where the sheet drops. Ejector wheels guide the printed sheet into the tray delivery. The wheels should not travel across the wet ink that has just been printed on the sheet. Paper guides and backstops should be set to make a neat stack of paper. Remember that one of the best sources of information about a particular press is the press manual, and that a good program of care and preventive maintenance can extend the useful life of a printing press.